Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fausto. I want to do a quick audio check just one last time. Can everyone hear me loud and clear? All right, excellent, excellent. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fausto from Cyber Trading University, president and founder of Cyber Trading University. Thank you for joining us here at Cyber Trading University. Hopefully, everybody had a wonderful morning in the market. We had some good action in the market, and we're going to be talking about some of the action in the market, but most importantly, today's topic is what we're going to be covering is controlling your emotions while you're trading. Now, looks like I have some familiar faces. Just want to do a quick little shout out. Thank you very much, David and Sandy. Tom's good to see you. Good, good, good. Just out of curiosity, any students logged in here? Do you have any students from Cyber Trading University that's logged in? Tom, Tim, that's good. Tom, I see you there. Good, good. Tom Sullivan. Good. Barry. Excellent. Excellent. Welcome back. Okay. And I know we have a lot of new people here for the first time, so I'd like to thank you all for coming here and thank all our channel partners for helping me be here. Now, what today's topic is about, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm here to teach you and educate you, not just entertain you, the art of trading. What is trading about? Why we all need to do it, and most importantly, how to control a lot of that stuff, because a lot of you here are making a lot of mistakes when it comes into the market, and you guys just need to know how to control those things, because you're all making a lot of mistakes when it comes to trading, and you all need to learn from those mistakes. So that's what we're going to cover, and last but not least, we're going to be covering a lot of things, as in why people are buying and selling stocks, where we find them, and why a lot of people are making those mistakes in trading. So before we get into detail, just a quick risk disclosure for our friends here in the compliance department. I want me to remind all of you that there is a very, very high risk involved in trading, and past results are not indicative of future, and Cyber Trading University and all its individual affiliates with this site assume no responsibilities of your trading investment results. If you want to read more about the disclaimer, visit the homepage of our website to learn more about it. Now, a couple of things we're going to be learning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, we're going to be talking about the different trading markets. We're going to talk about level 3, total view. We're going to talk about the KISS method. We're going to also talk about finding stocks. We're going to talk about psychology, discipline, everything that affected your trading to not make you as successful or as successful as you like, we're going to cover in the next hour. Now, one thing I want to remind all of you, ladies and gentlemen, is that tomorrow I'm going to be doing a second part to this course, so listen to me carefully. Tomorrow, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to invite all of you to come join me for a free live trading in the market demonstration. Now, I don't know if anybody here has ever seen anybody trade live in the market, but what we try to do is, because there's only so much we can cover in an hour, we break this up in 2 classes. Now, if you can't make it tomorrow, just keep in mind that it is recorded and you can come back and review it tomorrow. Does Robert, well, tomorrow I'm not going to cover futures, but I do cover a lot of trading that will pertain towards futures. Now, before we get into all the trading and educating you and telling you about things that you're doing right and the things you're wrong, let me just give you a little background check about who I am and why you should be listening to me. And if you really, really want to learn how to trade, why is Cyber Trading University the school for you? Well, just to let you know a little bit about my history, I started back in 1995. Now, I'm 42 years old right now. I started when I was 22 years old. I'm one of the original, what they call SOS bandits. I don't know if anybody read any old books, but I actually have a book that's coming out in August. Actually, you can get the PDF version on our website right now. Wiley just bought the book. It's actually the first book in 20 years about day trading that has not been out. So look forward to reading that. But I want you guys to understand a little bit about me. I live here in New York. I was trained by the best traders in the world. And what I mean by that, the best traders in the world, is because living in New York, this is the financial capital of the world. And what happened to me, ladies and gentlemen, is my parents were immigrants. They came here, and my father worked very, very hard to support our family. And I have three brothers and two sisters, help us support us, working, day in, day night. And one thing he always taught me is, son, if you could do something without getting your hands dirty, definitely consider it. Okay, so living in New York, I saw a lot of people that went to my school. A lot of people in my area were making a lot of money in the stock market. So I says, okay, great, let me try that. That looks like a lot of fun. I mean, we always want to do well for us. So I went out there and I tried to learn not learn, I tried to trade. Well, let me tell you, I lost miserably, miserably. I literally almost lost every penny that I had. Actually, I blew up 3 accounts because of it. Now, the reason why I lost miserably, and hopefully some of you here are not going to be going the same avenue that I went, is I went out there and I was one of the self-taught individuals. I says, what do I need to learn for? How hard could it be? You got a green button, you got a red button, you watch CNBC, you read a couple of newspapers, listen to the analysts, just piggyback them, right? Wrong. It's not that easy, okay? Because no one told me that there was a lot of emotions that come along with it. No one taught me how to control losses. No one. I thought whenever you buy, you bat 1,000. I thought everybody on Wall Street was right all the time. I thought all these traders were right. Well, learned that pretty quickly. And one thing I learned immediately, and fortunately, my mentors came up. I was fortunate to get a couple of mentors. One of my friends took me under his belt, and he says, Fausto, why don't you come with me? Let me teach you how to trade. Let me show you my mentors, how we make money. And let me tell you what I've learned. I should have never, ever, 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 ever made my first trade. Why? Because I was never taught how to trade right. Everything I was doing was backwards. Think about it. You ever go out there and wonder, maybe you're doing things backwards? Thinking somebody's watching you on the other side. Ever thought of that? It's not that. That's not the reason. The reason is no one ever taught you how to do it. Well, I was one of the fortunate ones, and I started when I was 22. Believe it or not, I was semi-retired at the age of 24. I was doing so well, making consistent money over and over again. I was semi-retired, and obviously you could see there was a big article written up in Forbes about people like me day trading, doing this all day long. Well, the way I got into education was basically it's not too healthy for a 24-year-old, and people knew I was doing very well. I was driving a nice Porsche, out in the boat on all day, enjoying myself, because trading is a part-time job. Believe it or not, 90% of your time is going to be spent on education. 10% of your time is spent on trading. After you're done trading, if you know what you're doing, once you finish your education, you got a lot of time on your hands. That's what's so great about this job. Well, that's how I got into the education business. Because people ask me, could you teach me? Could you teach me? And let me tell you, I have a passion to teach. I love to teach. I love my students that do very, very well for themselves. And most of them, and I'm not guarantee everyone, but most of them do very, very well. They've seen it, how to do it right. But what is the most important thing that they learn? Someone has to teach you how to do it. So what I've done over the years, I also became a 12-time champion. I beat every single school that I competed against. You may have heard of the Money Show, the Traders Expo. I've been to Paris. I've been to China. I've been all over Canada, U.S., everywhere. You name it, I competed against them. Anyone that even tried to compete, and I beat every one of them. Why? Because I was a market maker. I was a professional trader. And that's what separates us, me and my school versus other schools. So one thing I just want to give all of you an advice. I know everyone here is probably looking for a mentor and looking and listening to a lot of free webinars, and you might like how people do things better than others. One thing my mentor always taught me, he says, Fausto, you want to win? You win from champions. Okay, you hang out with great traders, you become a great trader. You listen to people and you hang out with losers, you end up being a loser. So that's one thing you have to learn, and that's one thing I wanted to prove to my students. So getting the opportunity for you guys to be here, I want you to understand the pedigree that where I came from, so you understand what I'm about to teach you, because what I teach is what you're going to learn. Now, this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. How did I learn? What was the biggest mistake that most people made? Okay? Opening up the wrong brokerage account. 90%, actually not 90, I would say 50%, 50%. I didn't get to 90 yet. 50% of you are going to fail because you open up the wrong brokerage account. First biggest mistake that most people do is they go out there and they say, let me go out there and try the market. Let me see how it is. Let me see how it works, okay? And if I like it, then I'll learn. Well, that is one of the biggest mistakes people make. They go out there and they open up a brokerage account because they got sold on some Super Bowl commercial about some monkeys or babies or, you know, or whatever it may be. Every one of you are a case-by-case basis. Okay, you don't give anyone here a parent. Okay, you don't go out there and buy your kid a car without teaching them how to drive first. Okay, and we all know there are different cars that are different for all of us. Some of us need a car because we got a family, so we need a caravan. Some of us like a sports car because we're single. Whatever it may be. The thing is, the same thing applies about you buying a car as with a brokerage firm. So the first thing I could tell all of you, if anybody here has a brokerage account, I would say more than half of you probably going to have to close that brokerage account and open up with a new company, because the one that you have is not designed for what your type of trading. That is the biggest mistake. So let me explain to you how online brokers make money. So just out of curiosity, I have a little diagram here. I'm going to explain to you how online brokers make money off you, because now you should know who you're dealing with, right? So let me explain to you how they make money off you. Let me just get my crayon here. Hold on 1 second, my little pointer. There we go. All right. So here's your order, okay? You have an online brokerage account. You're sending an email to the brokerage firm. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to take your order and they're going to email it and sell it to another brokerage firm, like whatever, Knight Securities, like the photo you saw earlier. Now, there's something called payment for order flow. Does anyone here know what that means? What does payment for order flow mean? Anyone here have an online broker? You should all know it. It's on the back of your account statement. Anybody know what payment for order flow means? No, it's not ECN rebates. Adam. ECN is totally different. No one here knows what payment for order flow is? Okay, Chris says payment, pay to execute your order. Okay. It applies to everything. Everything. Wow. All right, well, I hate to break it to you. Hopefully you guys don't get upset about this, but 80% of the money your online broker makes is something called through payment order flow. So if you think you're paying $7 a ticket, no. They're making hundreds, okay? What that is, your brokerage firm is taking your order and they're selling it to another brokerage firm. That's what payment for order flow is. There's a brokerage firm that's paying to get your order, or your brokerage firm to get your order. Now, if they can't sell it, it goes to the market maker. Can't find a buyer, it goes to the market maker. The order routing system is going to check 2 places. The first place they're going to check is something called dark pools, okay? Does anybody here know what a dark pool is? I don't know why people get so scared about it. They make such an ugly picture. Sometimes, you know, people don't even know what it really is. But does anybody here know what a dark pool is? What is a dark pool? It's not something out of Star Wars. An ADFN, Alternative Display Financial Network, okay. Anyone else? Is dark pools a good thing or a bad thing? Is this something that we should be concerned about? Should we be concerned about dark pools? Well, as long as you know what it is, okay, really dark pools are, that's right, Gary's right in the butt. It's trades that go, that happen in-house. So basically your brokerage firm is going to see if they have stock and inventory, and they're going to sell you what they have in inventory. They do trades within-house. So that's exactly what that means. Now, you can look at it as a good thing or a bad thing. I personally think it's a terrible thing, all right? Because basically what they're doing is they're making money on my order, all right? So they're not even doing you justice. If they don't have it in inventory, it goes to the trading desk. The trading desk is going to try to buy it on the bid. They have what's called a direct access execution system. They're going to buy it on the bid, sell to you on the offer, and the order gets executed. So this is basically a huge, looks like a big process that goes through how orders get executed online brokers. So at the end of the day, how many of you have done a trade and you get your executed and you're like, you know, you're sitting there, you're waiting, you know, it could take a couple of seconds, sometimes it takes a couple of minutes. Hey, anybody remember what happened when Facebook went public? Anyone traded back then when Facebook went public? I heard horror stories. People had orders out there and they didn't hear any confirmations for about 2-3 hours. All right? So the thing is this. Who's sick and tired of dealing with these people making money in your order? Because as much as you think you're getting a good deal, you're really getting ripped off. And that's why the exchanges, Ken, you are? Okay, we got one good person out of the crowd that's excited. What do you need them for? You could do it yourself. Why do you think there's no more traders down on the New York Stock Exchange? Everything is electronic. Everything is all computerized. The thing is this, you are now could be a market maker. You could place bids and offers out there. So, but the thing is, you need to get your own car. You need to go out there and do it on your own. So, what is direct access? Does anybody here know what direct access is? Just out of curiosity. Anybody here could tell me, out of their own words, what's direct access? Someone will buy it. Close. Direct exchange you want, Robert. Okay. Pretty close. I like that. Have heard of brokers DMT? No. There we go. Okay, good. So it looks like level 2 execution. Not really, George. Look, you're almost there. Basically, what Bruce says, what does this have to do with the topic? It has a lot to do with the topic, Bruce, because this is going to lead on to the psychology and the discipline part of it. You have to understand something. Trading is an 80% failure rate, okay? And why is it an 80% failure rate? Because 80% of you are trading backwards. And you're getting, it's becoming a mental issue, a psychological issue, and it becomes a discipline issue. And the number one issue is that you all have an account with the wrong brokerage account. So if you got that out of the way, then you would understand and would take the stress off why you're on the wrong side. Remember, this is the simplest way of me explaining it. There are two ways of transportation. There's taking public transportation and there's driving your own car. You deal with online brokers, you're dealing with public transportation. You're dealing with direct access, an account, a brokerage firm that gives you direct access to the market, you're driving your own car. Big difference. So basically, direct access is driving your own car. You have instant access to the market. Now, tomorrow, for all of you that join me tomorrow, I'm going to show you some live direct access orders so you can see what it's like in the real market. So what you're basically doing is sometimes you want to see changes for the better, so you have to start taking things at your own, take things in your own hands. And that is something that why most of you guys are here, because you're realizing it that some of you are semi-retired, retired, trading your IRA, maybe too qualified to get a job anywhere else. You know, so the thing is, but you want to trade the market because you know that trading is the best job in the world. It really is. Okay, it is the best job in the world. The thing is, you just need to know how to do it right. And that's why the exchanges gave all of you guys this access. And that's why when I remember when I started, they were ranting and raving, flipping out. They're like, why are you letting these people in our private club? They're not qualified. You know, the sad part is the market makers were right. The thing is that exchanges didn't like that it was being completely controlled, and I hate to use the word manipulated, by a private club of traders. And that's why they gave it to you. A couple of questions coming across here. Which brokerage firm is direct access, John? If you go on our website and you click on resources, there's a whole list, a few of them that we deal with, but there's about 50 of them out there. Okay? TradeStation is direct access, yes. And this is what I want you guys to do for homework, okay? Can everybody write this down? When you come back tomorrow, what I want you to do is call your brokerage firm and ask them if they're direct access or not, okay? And I will show you tomorrow what direct access actually is. Is TD, once again, it depends on which one. So how do we fix all that problems, ladies and gentlemen? Well, that's why we're here. We're here to learn. Okay, we all need to understand and learn. Listen, I learn every day. Every day I'm learning. Every single day I learn something new. And great traders never stop learning. Robert, yes, TOS is direct access. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 45 minutes. I know you guys have a lot of questions, and I want to save them to the end because I have literally, we're on slide 12, and we got about 40 slides to go through. So, but the thing is this: who's the best? Who is great? Listen, you're all a case-by-case basis, number one, and number two, okay, and number two, tomorrow I'll be able to answer that question in more detail. First, your job is you have to go ask them, are they direct access or not? Okay, so let's become better traders, and it all starts getting the right brokerage account. Now, let's get into something that you're hearing unbelievable scrutiny all over CNBC, all over 60 Minutes. Let's talk about high-frequency trading. Okay, does anybody know what is your terminology of the high-frequency trading? Anybody know what that means? What is your definition of high-frequency trading? Good, bad, you could say whatever you want. Listen, nobody's going to hold you against you. Nobody's going to arrest you for it. Just don't say any bad words. Skimming, okay, getting there first. Robot trading using algorithms from Mark, okay. Craig says it's not fair. Okay, Dave says he thinks it's computers. Vernon says it's front running. Okay, program trading, algorithms, okay, from Adam, front running, liquidity. Okay, I like Robert's terminology. Okay, now let's look at it this way. Is high frequency trades bad for us or good for us? What do you guys think? Is it good or bad? Wow, we're really getting some mixed thoughts on this. Very bad from Andy. Some people says it's good. Craig says really bad, irritated. A relative, good, neutral. We need them. Well, it causes liquidity. Well, you know what? Let me ask you this. It goes both ways. It's bad if you don't know what it is. It's good if you know what you're looking at. So let me explain to you what high-frequency trades are. High-frequency trades run 70% of the volume of the market. 70%. Now let me ask you all a question. If you were able to see 70% of the volume, would that be good for you or would that be bad? Is that still a bad thing? Okay, be great, right? Imagine how much would that be worth to you? How much would that be worth to you? A lot, right? So the thing is this. Here you have an example of what's called total view. This is I call level 3. You could all get this. Every one of you can get level 3, okay? Now, I have one last question to all of you. What drives the price of a stock? What draws things to go up and down in the market? Robert says, where do I get it? Robert, tomorrow I'm going to tell you. Sorry about that, buddy, but good things are for the ones who wait. That's supply and demand, exactly. So let's look at this example right here, okay? Do you think a 100-share seller is going to make a resistance level, yes or no? Not really. Maybe 5,000, but definitely 71,000. 71,000 versus 100 shares is obviously more of a resistance level, because remember, what drives stocks up and down is buyers and sellers. We call these iceberg orders. I don't know if anybody ever heard that terminology, but those are iceberg orders. What you're seeing right there are what's called high-frequency trades. Those are, we used to call it back in our day, this used to be called Instinet, okay, when I first started. Then they changed it to ECN book. Now they call it Total View, okay? But what Total View does is it tells you where the big orders are. Because you remember, there's a lot of us putting limit orders out there, right? You and everyone else are not the only one that are trading the market. So these are the beauty about Total View. You get to see the big block orders. Now let's look at an example over here. Stock goes up, stock goes down, okay? Stock goes up, comes right back to the previous resistance level, right? So what's supposed to happen when you're at a resistance level? Does the stock go up or go down? Stock's supposed to go down. And for a stock to go down, what would cause a stock to go down? A chart or sellers? Okay, so you can forget about this. This is irrelevant. That's past data. All right. So we have a 2,200 share seller versus 75,000 share buyer. Who do you think is going to win the battle? Now, when you do your trade, how many times have you been in a trade and you're at a resistance, and every MACD and moving average and SMA and every bar chart, every candle is indicating the stock is going down, and how many times it didn't go down? How many more times did it go up? Ever happened to anyone? Many times, right? Because you know why? Those are lagging indicators. Okay, that's what happened in the past. That's what's happening in the present. What causes things to go up and down is buyers and sellers. Because there's no indicator out there that's going to tell you about a 75,000 share buyer out there. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to me carefully. Do you really want to make money in the market? Do you really want to do this as a career? Okay, do you really feel that this is something that you like? Of course, right? Sonny, you want to do it, Randy, right? Well, if you want to do it right, then follow the money. You know, I always tell my students this. We are the ants on the floor. You and I, we're just getting the crumbs on the floor. You hear these people on CNBC, all this scrutiny about the high-frequency trade. These guys are moving 20, 30 million shares a day, 50 million. What are you and I trading, 1,000, 100? You think this affects us? You know, that's it, David. Follow the money. That's what my mentors told me. It's been like that since the beginning of the market started. And let me tell you, nothing really has changed other than technology has made things easier for you. Trading is not that hard. You follow the money. Here you have an example. Stock goes all the way down, and it hits right here, and it bounces. It goes right up. Goes up, goes down, it hit the same place twice. Why did it bounce there? Not because of the 600 share buyer at $1.60, not because of the 100 share buyer at $1.57, but maybe, just maybe, between $1.50 and $1.48. You have a 13,000 share buyer and a 6,000. You're talking literally over 20,000 share buyers out there. Okay. What about the phantom placement that suddenly removed? Vernon, what does phantom mean? I don't know who told you that terminology. There's no such thing of fake orders. If you think that's the, I know where you're going with this, Vernon, and I was waiting for one of you guys to bring that up. But the thing is this: if you think that's a fake order, why don't you go try executing it? You want to do that? Want to take that? Want to take that bet? Now you're getting some people laughing at it. Let me tell you, there's nothing fake about that order. All right. So now people could change their mind. Hey, listen, you ever put an order out and change your mind? You could change it, but there's nothing fake about it. So the thing is this: follow the money. No, because what makes supports and resistance levels, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at a chart, okay, when you look at resistance levels, you look at support levels, what makes them is big block orders. This is the discipline part. Now, obviously, the topic for today is controlling your emotions while you're trading. Well, how could you control an emotion when you don't even know what you're reading? And that's where your emotions get controlled. Because if you knew what you think about it, you go to work every day. Do you go to work every? I'll give you a better example. Okay, this is how you control your emotions. Anyone ever jump in a car with a teenager just started learning how to drive? Has anyone ever recently been in a car? Had a niece eventually learn how to drive. Okay, now let's talk about emotions there. Anyone get nervous like when you drive your own car? Ruth, when you drive, do you get emotionally nervous? Okay, you have emotion. You get, of course not, because we're very used to it, right? You don't think twice. I mean, think about it. You're driving a weapon. A vehicle is a weapon. You can kill somebody with that thing. You could kill yourself. I mean, technically, it is a dangerous motor vehicle. But do you think of that? Do you go into a car thinking every day like, oh my God, I got to drive the car. Emotionally, I can't take it. It's too dangerous. No, because you have control. Now, put yourself in front of somebody that just started learning how to drive, and now you don't have control. That's where emotions come in. Well, guess what? Your emotions are kicking in because you're depending on someone else to do the trade for you. And you know what? This is your money. You work damn hard to make that money. And here you want someone else to profit from your trade. All you want to do is to get the best order and the truth behind it. And that's why a lot of you guys are starting to trade now on your own. So having a game plan, ladies and gentlemen, is all about following the money. If you're able to see things clearly and see why stocks are hitting support resistance levels by following the money, by seeing the high frequency trades, your life will just be that less emotional and, most importantly, stressful. Now, how do we make things a little bit easier? A couple of questions here. Large seller order resistance is large buy support. Which is real. That's correct, Sonny. Wow, look at that. Okay, you learned something today. Anyone learn anything so far? What did you guys learn today so far in the past 30 minutes? Good, good, good. Everyone learned a little something? Order flow process. Okay, good, Chris. Thank you. JP, you learned something? Good. All right. Now, let's talk a little bit about work is part-time, okay? That's basically what trading is. Listen, remember what I just told you earlier, okay? Trading is a part-time job, okay? 90% of your time is spent on education. 90%. You're here, this is part of your education, 90%. 10% is only trading. So if you're sitting there all day spending time analyzing your trades, you're wasting your time, okay? Now, one thing my mentors always taught me, well, Ken, think about it. Look at a doctor. Look at lawyers. Think about, listen, as a trader, trading, to me, not because I do it every day, I tell everyone trading is the best job in the world. And I'm going to show you right here in an example. Okay, here's a stock at 9:30. Okay, right at the open, went from $2.70 in less than 15 minutes, ran to a price around 3:30. So do the math. What is 270 minus 330? Anyone have a calculator? 270 minus 330. Joe says 60 cents. Everybody agree with him? Okay. Now, if you bought 1,000 shares, what's 60 times 1,000? $600. Okay, who do you know that makes $600 in 15 minutes? Anybody here make $600 in 15 minutes? We got one person that knows. Personally? Anybody here make $600 in 15 minutes? Okay, well, the thing is this, Randy, you can. That's the thing. We all can. And that's the beauty about trading, ladies and gentlemen. Trading is a part-time job. You make it really early in the morning, and you know what? I mean, do the math. Anyone have a calculator? 600 times 5 days a week times 52 weeks, you're talking about $150,000 a year. Who doesn't want that job? Okay, that's why I want to become a trader. That's why I got into the business, because my friends would tell me, Fausto, this is like a $250,000 job, but I'm just telling you, it's a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? Then they're like, no, I'm serious. It's a part-time job. You have to spend 110% of your time focused on trading, but there's a small window of opportunity to do that, and it's in the first hour and the last hour of the close. So, and so you have to be there. You have to be there and be focused at that time. So Edwin, so what do you do? What do you train for 90% of your time? Edwin, that's what and that's funny you say that. I said that earlier this morning, early in the presentation. That's how I got into education. Because after you learn how to trade, now your education is all done, and you went through your procedure of learning. I went through my training with my mentors in my school. And then after that, once you learn what to do, you just come up and just trade. And the reason why I teach is because, because I love teaching. I always wanted to teach everybody, give something back. And not only that, I do both. I teach and I trade. Yes, does it apply towards Forex? Yes, it does, but only certain times. And we do have a Forex instructor that we also teach Forex options, swing trading. So if anybody wants to learn any of that stuff, you're more than happy to. So this is what you do. You basically take the day off, and you're going to see that. I mean, who here wants to sit there and trade all day? Well, I got news for you. You can't, because the market is dead. There are certain times when the market makes its move. You could take more time. You could, and this is what I tell people what to do. Go out there. Go get your women out there. Go get your hair done. Book it in the middle of the day. Think about it. You get the best time slots. Go see a matinee. Go out there and spend more time with your family. That's what's great about trading. You could do all these wonderful things. The only thing for me is that when I was 24 years old, there was only so many times I can get my hair done and go see a matinee. So the thing is this, there's a lot to do when it comes to trading. And that's why a lot of you guys are here, because you don't want to go back and spend the rest of your day trading. But more importantly, you need to learn it's not like this all the time. Now we talked about timing during the day. Let's talk about execution systems. Okay, let's talk about execution systems. So here you have an execution system. And does anyone's execution system look like this? Anyone? To me, this thing is confusing, right? Is this confusing or what? This is the most confusing thing that I've ever seen. But you know what? People could actually read this stuff. What is that? That's listen, this is what the problem with execution systems. Now we're talking about confusion. The thing is this, a lot of us, we look at execution systems and don't realize you don't need to learn all this crazy indicators and all these special platforms and pay all this money, because emotionally, this is going to confuse you. Learn how to keep things simple. You have to just be able to look at something and says, okay, what is that all about? Why am I getting involved in a trading system that these brokerage firms are trying to give and sell you everything? You know what? 90% of what they give you, you don't even need. You don't need any of that stuff. And that's what this is. The KISS method. I have something that I teach my students. It's called the KISS method. Keep it super simple. And that's where you get yourselves in trouble. Because when you start getting more complicated, now you get more confused. And what happens when you get confused, everybody? What happens? You start to wig out, probably. What else? You make mistakes. You freeze. You lose. And most importantly, it emotionally affects you and your family and your trading. Can anyone emotionally trade being confused? Can anyone emotionally, would anyone here emotionally allow someone to drive a car that's emotionally not prepared to drive? Would you sit in a car with someone emotionally that's emotional? Of course not. And guess what? You all are doing the mistake. If you're going into a trade and you're emotionally not prepared, then guess what? You're not emotionally ready to trade. When I educate my students, when I put them through a very strict training program, I emotionally get you prepared while you trade, making sure why to buy certain stocks, why are you trading this one versus that one, why is this one going up and not that one. These are the things that you have to look at. So that is another big mistake that people make. I'll give you a good example. Anybody here watch CNBC, watch TV or any station? You ever see any of the pictures when they show CNBC? They show the traders on the floor. You know, you ever look behind them what they're looking at? What do you think they're looking at? They're looking at orders. You don't really see that many. You don't see that many indicators out there. And also, do you see them emotionally? Do you see them emotional freaking out? No, they don't. And that's the way I have to look at it. So finding stocks, how about that? That's another thing people say. Okay, Fausto, you got that part out of the way. What about finding them? Finding them is easy. Finding them is the easiest thing to do. The question is which one to trade. Now, there are a lot of good stocks that move today, okay? And one of the things, and if you want to, anyone here subscribe to my Twitter and YouTube channel? Just out of curiosity, anybody here have been following me on Twitter or watching any of the videos on YouTube? You can go to Twitter at CyberTradingU, or just look up cybertradinguniversity.com. Okay, and basically, at the end of the day, this is a free version. We have two Twitter accounts. We got a paid version, which we give Twitter alerts all day, and then we have a free version of a recap. You could also access this on our homepage or our website, a more detailed version of it. So, so we tweet and we post our videos every day of stocks that we trade over the course of the day. So, and we also do Twitter and text messaging all day long. So let me give you an example, okay, of stock, for example, we traded today. Anybody hear about FXCN? Anybody hear about this stock, FXCN? No one heard about FXCN? It was the biggest percentage gainer on the NASDAQ market, up 21% today. Randy says he never heard of it until today. Okay. Okay, Jim has a position in it. Still in it, Richard. Okay, well, this is what I'm talking about. Here's a stock that went from $7.90 to $5.80. Let's give it 90 cents in a matter of from 9:30 to almost 12 o'clock. Okay, so you're talking 3 hours. The stock went up $1. You know what $1 is on 1,000 shares? What's $1 on 1,000 shares? $1,000. You know what $1,000 is over a course of a year? Not bad for end of a day's pay. And you know what? Who needs the 1,000? Wouldn't you just be happy if you got 200? Maybe just 20% of the move? And you had all day to do that, guys. All day to make a move. You don't have to take the full 1,000. By the way, great traders never buy at the bottom and sell up on top. They always buy in between. That's basically what we do. One of the winners that we were in our trading room. Here's another stock that we traded this morning. Anybody hear about this stock, ISR? Biggest New York Stock Exchange mover of the day. 16 million shares traded, up 32%. Look at this one, right at 9:30 to about 10 o'clock. In less than 30 minutes, this stock ran from $1.90 to $2.60. Okay, look here in the long-term chart. Look how much this stock can move, ladies and gentlemen. This stock actually, I remember we traded back in March. It went from $1 to $3.50. What is that? 350% in 2 days? Now, do we really care what this company does? I mean, think about it. Why are you here? Do you care what you trade, or are you here to make money? Yeah, Andy, once again, I'm going to invite all of you. If you guys want to come and listen, we all talk about all about the big winners, okay? We all talk about big winners, but some people always ask me, you know, well, okay, Fausto, we see all these great winners. What about the losers, okay? What about the losers that I have? Do I have losers? Absolutely I have losers. And that's why I'm going to invite all of you, if you're interested, to join me in my professional trading room. I'll tell you at the end of the presentation. I'll let you all be able to get access to a 2-week trial. But think about it. Don't judge me. I tell my students this all the time. Don't judge me by my winners. Judge me on my losers and how few I have. Because if everybody was making money, no one would be here. Your biggest problem, the reason why most of you guys are here, is because you're not making money or you don't know how to control your losses. So one thing I try to teach my students is how to control losses. Morris wants to know, what is your percentage of winners versus losers? Listen, what mine is versus yours is going to be irrelevant. Realistically, mine is 70%. Okay? But the thing is this, don't believe what I'm telling you. Come and watch me and let me show you. Let my students come out and show you. Amazon's moving up fast. I would never, ever, 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 ever trade Amazon. And I'll give you a good point. Why would I go out there and trade a $300 stock when I can risk 300 times less and trade a stock like Plug, okay, up 200% in one day? All right? Think about it. And please, yep, and there you go. I knew I had to get someone that had to say that. Oh, but you could trade the option. You know what? Why don't you go trade the option on Plug? Then Amazon. If it's 200 times less money, wouldn't it be the option be 200 times less? Andrew? It's all about risk to reward. Okay. Let me tell everybody about options. I know because we teach option courses here, and one thing I always tell my all my option friends out there: if you want to be a good options trader, you have to learn how to trade stocks first, because it's the movement of the stock that makes the option move. So if you're going out there and trading options before learning trading stocks, Guess what? If you think day trading is more riskier or swing trading, options is the highest failure rate, because what happens, people trade options as a poor man playing a rich man's game. And what that means is, because you feel that you can't afford to buy the stock of Amazon, so you trade the option, like, well, I can't afford to trade the stock, so I'll trade the option. That's false. That is a 90% failure rate. And I know everyone for a fact, nobody here wants to be in a 90% failure rate. NQ, another big winner of today. Anyone see this stock? This stock had a huge pop-up. Right here in pre-market, I teach people how to trade the pre-market. And right when pre-market opened up at 9:30, the stock ran from 11.60 all the way to 13.30 in less than, I don't know, about 10 minutes. So another big winner, up 13%. OXBT, another big winner. Anybody heard about this stock? This is kind of a tweet and text that we made. It's not moving today, but it was one of the big winners that we traded back in the past. I mean, these are the things that you have to look at, ladies and gentlemen. It's about making money. YRCW, another big winner. Look at this. The goal of this one I want you to see is that most of the money is made within the first hour. And that's where most of our traders make most of our money. Now, if anyone here has any questions, I have an article. If anybody wants to learn anything about dark pools, you can take down my email address. Let me just put it right here. FaustoP@ctucorp.com. I know everybody always wants to learn and likes to read stuff, so feel free to send an email at FaustoP@ctucorp.com, and we'll be happy to get that running for you. All right. So now let's talk about the psychology part of it, the discipline part of it, and obviously the emotion part of it. John says, but how do you find these winners? Okay, well, John, that's what I told you at the end of this presentation. I'm going to tell you how you could see most of it, okay, and how to find them. One of the places I do is I run a professional trading room. So I'm going to invite all of you guys to come. Oh, my email address, let me put it here again for you. FaustoP@ctucorp.com, okay? Now, regarding about finding them is easy. I run a professional trading room. You can come back and watch and listen the live broadcast. We run a professional trading room running all day. Actually, I do 2 different courses. I run a teaching room and a trading room. If you want to find out more about it, call our office now before we end the presentation, because the phone's probably going to ring off the hook. So jump the line now if you want to talk to an education advisor or tell you more about it. Let's talk about trading. Trading stocks is a job. This is not investing. That is the most important thing you have to keep in mind. Traders never take anything personal. All right? We never go out there and look at something and say, oh, you know, I know this company, I shop there all the time, period. We never, ever, ever take any of that into consideration. This is not investing. This is a job. Does everyone know the definition of business? What's the definition of business? Making money. Very good. So that is something that you have to look at as a job. You're treating this as like making money. Robert, every stock that we trade is on the NASDAQ National. We don't trade any penny stocks, no bulletin board stocks. You're dealing with the wild, wild west there. Okay? So hopefully that answered your question, Robert. Now, keeping a diary of what you've done in the market. One of the things that I kind of teach my traders what to do is I teach you how to journal. And the way you control your emotions and not build up your emotions is obviously learning how to trade the market. And most of you, if you're not keeping a diary to go back and review why you made money, why you lost money, how are you going to learn from losing money if you keep making that same mistake. Because you have to trade in a way that makes you feel comfortable. All right? Do you guys, anyone ever go into a trade and as soon as you buy it, you feel like you're guessing, and you're like, my God, the thing's going up, it's going down, and you don't even know if you're coming, you're going, you're like, and you start doing one of the ugliest words in the world. You start hoping. Anyone ever get into that situation? Well, go trade Amazon, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Know what your profit goals are. Daily, weekly, be realistic. Listen, don't count my money. Don't count everybody else's money. We are all here to meet a goal. Some of you will be happy to make $50,000 a year. You know what $50,000 a year is? That's making 20 cents a day on 1,000 shares. 20 little, stinking little cents. 20 cents. Not $2, but 20 cents. You have all day to make it. That's a $50,000 a year salary. My email address again, David, I'll put it in the chat room. FaustoP@ctucorp.com. There you go. Put it right here again. I'll have it posted up at the top of the next page too. My goal, I try to teach my students on the average to make about 50 cents a day. 50 cents on the average. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. Sometimes you're going to hit home runs, grand slams, sometimes you won't. But, consistently, I try to teach my students to make the 50 cents a day, which comes out to be about $120,000 a year. And if you really stop and think about it, really, really think about it, is 50 cents a lot? How many of you guys seen stocks up 50 cents today? Anyone have a problem finding a stock going up 50 cents today? Any shopping? Anyone had a problem finding one? I gave you several. FXEN went up, $1, up 20%. LOGM, that stock went up $6 today. A little expensive though, 47 bucks. Yeah, but after the fact, and that Bruce is what we got to fix. That's what we have to fix, and that is not hard to do. And you know how we fix that, Bruce? Tomorrow, if you join me, I will have you watch me trade in pre-market. Anyone ever watch anyone trade in pre-market? See these orders coming out? Anyone? No? Well, you just missed one of the. That is one of the ways where most of our traders get a sense of direction where the market's going. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, Alexander, I'm not answering to April, okay, please. Alexander, what you could do is, Alex, why don't you send me an email, and I would, or call my office, and they'll be able to address that problem that you have, okay? So we'll fix you, we'll take care of you on that Twitter feed. All right, so for some of you who don't know this, Cyber Trading University was ranked #1 school 6 years in a row. For some of you that logged in late, I'm also a 12th, that didn't hear me earlier, I'm also a 12-time champion at the Money Show and World Expo. I beat every school in the industry. Now here at Cyber Trading University, we teach to some of the biggest brokerage firms in the world, Thinkorswim, FXVM, Lightspeed. I'm actually going to be in Vegas with the Nigerian brothers. You see them on CNBC all day from Trade Monster on October 13th and 14th, exclusively speaking on high-frequency trade. So, we do more education than any school in the industry. Why? Because the people that work here at Cyber Trading University, we're all traders. Now, how can I start learning to make money today? Very simple. We have 2 promotions to offer all of you. Okay, you all can come and join me tomorrow. And if you go to our homepage or our website, I'll give you guys the link right here. Hold on, give me a second. You could join me for free for a live trading demonstration when the market opens up. Okay, so let me just give you the link for that one. This is a free event. Okay, here it is. Okay, so that is going to start at 9:30 in the morning. So you click on that link I just put in the keyboard chat. That is the free live trading class that I'm offering all of you. Now, if you want to join me starting right now for 2 weeks, I'm running a promotion. Now, we only allow 20 students every 2 weeks to join because there's just way too many students in my trading room. All right, we limit it to 20 students at a time. So for the first 20 students, you could join me for an all-day live trading that starts at 8 a.m. in the morning, not 9:30, 8 a.m. to 4 o'clock with 2 live audio broadcasts of going through a whole description of what to trade and why we're trading it. And that's for $29. It's a $200 value. Now, we have to charge you because it's for compliance purposes. I would love to invite all of you in there, but we have, it's something that we got to pay for the, basically, I'm working for free. All I'm doing is I'm proving to all of you, I want you to see my trades of how good the picks are and how few the losers are. And the $29 is basically just covering the webinar technology that we're paying for. All right. But then hopefully after that, you'll come to a conclusion if trading's for you. Now, we're giving you 2 weeks. Because, some days are better than others, and, some days are great, some days are slow. You need to see what it's like on good days and bad days. But it's only 20 students at a time. So if you're interested and you want to join me for 2 weeks, it starts, the first 20 people get in. Once it gets sold out, the next group of 20 will start 2 weeks after that. So don't procrastinate. If you want to call right now or register online, if you want to register for that, you could register right on the home page of the website. You'll see a banner and other quick links, and you can click on my name, or you can click on this link right here, or call the phone. Right now, we'll get you registered. Now, most importantly, when you do register, make sure you talk to an education advisor so they could tell you everything that you're getting. So if anyone has any questions right now, because I know we're running out of time right now, feel free to give us a call, 877-70-CYBER. Just call that number right there, and they'll be happy, any education advisor will be happy to help you. Now, there's my personal email address. There's our phone number. There's the promo. You got 2 promos to join us, the free version or the paid version. Feel free to register for any of them. A couple of things, a couple of notes coming across here. You're more than welcome, JP. What's the minimum account size, Grant? You know what? You saw some of the stocks that we traded, $2, $5. You don't need a lot of money. That's a misconception that people make. Joel, tomorrow you get a 1-hour free live trading with me at 9:30 to 10:30. Okay, that's a free event. If you want to join me for 2 weeks, the first 20 people that register now can get for $29 and join me for not just 1 hour, but for 2 full all-day weeks in my trading room. Okay? So you can come for free for 1 hour, or you can come for 2 weeks for $29. Big difference. If you get the paid version, it starts at 8 a.m. If you come to the free one, it starts at 9:30 because I have to get my students ready and my traders ready at early in the morning to see and watch what's happening in pre-market, because that's where we make most of our money. Any other questions? Now, a couple of things before we go, ladies and gentlemen. I want to kind of remind everybody before everybody logs out. There's 3 types of people that are here, and I just want to kind of give everybody an insight about trading. First of all, a lot of you here are going to continue with Cyber Trading University. I'm going to mentor you, and I'm really looking forward to it. I really, really look forward to it, educating all of you. Because let me tell you, what you think you learned right here, I didn't even scratch the surface. That's number 1. Number 2, there are some of you here that are just shopping around looking for a mentor. And, it's great. I'm happy you guys came and listened in, and hopefully you'll move forward or do your homework. But let me just address one most important person out there which I find a lot that there are very few of you out there that I hope you're not going to be. There are a lot of you out there that are going to try to be self-taught. You're going to try to practice and do it on your own. You're going to think you're going to be able to watch this on YouTube. You know, let me tell you, the problem with YouTube and these free webinars is that they're not structured, okay? There's no structure. Because if it was that easy, everybody would be a doctor and lawyer, okay? It's not. What you need to understand is that if you really, really want to learn how to trade, you need a mentor. And if it's not me, maybe you don't like my voice, maybe you don't like my style, but learn from somebody. You can't go out there and try to be self-taught. It's a 90% failure rate, okay? And it's going to cost you a lot of money and losses. A couple of questions coming across here. Let me just read them by. Amos, in the inside about trading, 3 types of people. Many of you will continue, others will look for a mentor. And that's the truth, exactly. Now, by the way, I hear the phone ring. If you guys are on hold, it might be easier if you just go online and register because you can reserve your spot there. So I see a lot of you are calling in right now. So if you can't get an instructor on the phone, just go right to the website and register online. Can you trade of time during the day? Well, Andy, there's a very small window where you make most of your money. The first hour and the last hour, and that's when I kind of teach my courses. Well, the link that I gave you is 10 trading days. Remember, it's only 5 days in a week, so we didn't write 2 weeks. Some people said, I get 14 days. No, it's 10 trading days. 5 days in a week. That's what that is. Any other questions? How much you have to pay? Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, well, listen, I apologize for some of the people's comments in here. I just have to turn off the chat. You know, when you get like 300-400 people in here, it's kind of hard to please everyone. So I apologize for everybody's comments. So I have to turn off the chat. But in the meantime, everyone, listen, thank you so much for coming. Hope you joined a lot. And for everybody else, listen, I look forward to teaching all of you. In the meantime, you have my personal email address. Feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.